And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Here, Lucas from Mars, and we're going to continue with this Only Show 20 franchise rebuild here with the Miami Marlins. Now, if you guys remember to the last episode that we had of this franchise, we were gonna play the Los Angeles Angels, but I actually deleted the clips that I had to that game. So we were not going to be playing that game. Unfortunately, the Marlins did lose the game that I recorded against the Angels. So that is unfortunate. That is my bad there, deleting those clips accidentally. But we move on now. We're focusing right now on this game here between Miami and New York with Jorge Soler up at the plate, and he swings and misses at that four-seam fastball here. Edwin Diaz, the closer, as the Marlins still in a tough battle with the Mets for this division here in this franchise. As here's Garrett Cooper up now, batting .255 on the season. One down here in the inning, as that is a ground ball over to the shortstop there, and a throw over to first base from that is Francisco Lindor, the shortstop there, making the play. So Miami down to their last out here in this game, and a 3-4 score. Jazz Chisholm comes up. He's had a pretty good game here, a triple and a single, 2 for 3 on the night overall. And there's a swing, and that's a ball hit out into center field. Racing back at the wall, and right in front of the wall, running into it a little bit there, is the center fielder. The play is made, and the Mets take this one here 3-4. So a little quick game and a quick moment here, and a close one at the end to start this episode, as Diaz gets his 16th save of the year, and the Mets take this game 3-4. So there's their look at the final line score here. New York took a 3-0 lead early in this game, and Miami was simply not able to catch up. So we have that game for you, but we also will really be focusing on a couple of minor league pitchers here in this episode here before we get to the All-Star break. We are going to be pitching with Edward Cabrera and Max Meyer in this episode, but in the meantime, we are going to be simming some games here at the Major League level, and another loss here to the Mets, as this is a walk-off win for New York here in this bowl game. Another 3-4 final score. You get a quick look at what the box score looks like here in this one, and Sixto Sanchez with a pretty decent start, all things considered. 6 innings, 9 hits, a few runs allowed, run given up by Eliezer Hernandez, but not a lot of wins here for the Marlins recently. They end their 5-game losing streak with a 4-2 win against the Mets here. Still a game back of New York right now, and a half game back of Atlanta. So this is the finale of this 3-game series here between these two teams. So we're going to hop into a quick manage situation here with Pablo Lopez pitching in this one against Chris Bassitt. A 4.15 ERA, 4.15 ERA for Chris Bassitt this season. He's having a all-right year as we get this one underway here. Quick managing it as a 1-2-3 top half of the first. Pablo Lopez on the mound, 114 innings and a 2.21 ERA, but not a good start to his night here. A double, a walk, and then a 3-run bomb by Brandon Nimmo, and a couple of base runners here. And just not a great first inning there by Pablo Lopez. 3 runs, 3 hits, and a couple of walks there. So looks to recover from that kind of rough beginning. He does get a scoreless inning there as we go to the bottom of the third, and another couple of base runners here as he does get out of that third inning. And now the offense here for Miami finally starting to do something a little bit. There's a sac fly from Brian De La Cruz to make it a 3-1 game. Lopez gives up a double here to Thomas Nido, and he does in fact get out of the fourth here. And Chris Bassitt, not an amazing year by him, but he's been doing really well against this lineup here for Miami, as the Marlins really haven't done anything on offense yet. There's a runner thrown out at the plate. Sanchez thrown out at home there on a double And Lopez, can he get through 6 innings in this game? He can, and so, I mean, that's a good start after how rough his first inning in this one was for him to get through 6 innings. We'll definitely take that from him. That is not a bad start at all, although the offense here needs to get him something in order for him to avoid getting another loss. But here's Anthony Bass struggling here as he gives up a bases clearing 3 RBI double to Jeff McNeil, and that is a big-time blow right there to the Marlins' chances. And at a 6-1 game, looks pretty clear that New York is going to take this one, and they're going to take this series here from Miami. The Marlins, losers of 6 of their last 7 games here, as there is a double, but wait a minute. Garrett Cooper with a 2-run homer has actually made it a 1-run game here in the 9th. They go to Edwin Diaz out of the bullpen, and, man, I almost got ahead of myself a little bit there. The offense for Miami wakes up, but too little too late there in the 9th inning with 4 runs. They fall in this one 5-6. So Pablo Lopez does get handed a loss, and Miami does, in fact, lose. So they have now lost 7 of their last 8 games. So it was 6 of their last 7 games, They lose this series to the Mets, and now fall 2 games behind them. But they will now face the Pirates, so not a great team here in the Pirates this season, tanking as well 500. Then they face Philadelphia, not an amazing team either. And then after the All-Star break, they face the Pirates again, and then they face one of the worst teams in the league in the Cincinnati Reds. So, a chance here if you're Miami to make up some ground in the standings if you can win some of these games against some easier opponents. And a good start to this series here. Sandy Alcantara goes the distance, I believe, in this one. A shutout, at least, for the Marlins here. Their 40th win of the season. You got a home run from Wendell and a complete game shutout from Sandy Alcantara. His 6th win of the year. 9 innings, 5 hits, only 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. A very good start for him, and what has been a pretty decent season for him so far. A 3.03 ERA, so he's doing well right now this season, and that was one of his better starts of the entire year. As we're going to sim one more game here at the Major League level, and a close one here, 5-4 in the 9th inning, and we're not going to go into this one, though, as let's see what happens in this game. And Tanner Scott got an injury here, not a big one, though, only going to be on for a few days, so we just go ahead and say auto on that one, as the Marlins, in fact, lose this one here to Pittsburgh, a 7-5 win. They did end up tying the game in the 9th inning, but Pittsburgh got 2 runs in the top of the 10th to take this one by a final of 7-5. Looking at that box score, Daniel Vogelback with a home run, Cruz as well, and Cruz with a dinger. Jose Soler 2 for 5 with an RBI. Cooper got an RBI as well. Stallings was 1 for 4 with an RBI. And Jazz Chisholm, it looks like, got a home run. At least he had a 1-hit RBI, a run scored, a walk. He's up to 253 on the average now. He did, in fact, get a home run there. So, we're seeing some improvement from Jazz Chisholm this year in the average department. But there's the pitching there as Taylor Rogers under a 4 ERA now after that start. And not an amazing, not an awful start, though. The bullpen, for the most part, except for Dylan Floro and Cole Sosa, was very good. Dylan Floro was 4th save of the season here. He's had an excellent season, so unfortunate to see him drop the ball there in that one. But 48 and 45 for Miami there. Still remain 2 games behind New York and a half a game behind the Atlanta Braves here in the standings. And only a couple of games ahead of even the Nationals here. Only a game below 500, but we will now move on from the Major League level here for at least a little bit and focus on the minor leagues here in this one. Edward Cabrera and Max Meyer are going to be the starters here that we're going to be looking at as the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp face the Syracuse Mets in this series here. As these two pitchers, very good. They've had good seasons, and I don't know if we're going to see either one of them this year. You might see Max Meyer at the major leagues this season at some point, but here is Edward Cabrera. on the mound for Jacksonville, and he does not start the game out great. There is a hit by pitch. Edgar Cabrera around a 3 ERA this season, just in case you're wondering. We'll see his ERA at the end of this game, but there's ball 1 to Ronnie Mauricio, one of the top prospects. This is the Mets AAA affiliates. I believe that the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp are playing, if I would guess. That's a base hit by Mauricio here in the center field, and Edgar Cabrera, definitely not going to see him at the Major League level this season. We will probably see him at some point next year. I think he's going to be pitching in spring training next season to see what he can do. But there's a ball grounded, and it's not going to be an out as a bunt base hit. There, it has loaded the bases, and Carlos Rincon with a monster opportunity. I mean, bases juiced already here in just the first inning. And just really early in this game, Cabrera is struggling a little bit here in this first inning, it seems, to get some outs. Here's now a 1-0 to Rincon is a ground ball, and there's no play except to go to first base. So the first out of the game is recorded, but also Syracuse scores a run on that ground out. So it's 1-0 Mets here in the first inning. And second and third, one down for Patrick Mazeika now. 20 RBIs, fourth on the Mets, but not a great season from him in AAA here. He does have 2 runners on the pond here and in scoring position to try and score them in. There's a line drive, and that one's going to fall in for a base hit. 2 runners will score on a base hit by Patrick Mazeika, who gets his 21st and 22nd RBI of the season. And it's 3-0 Syracuse here in the first inning. Not a great pitch by Edgar Cabrera, right down the middle to the batter there, and now 2 down in the inning. Here's Scott Oda up, and Cabrera trying to get out of this inning, and that is going to get him out of the first, a ground out to second base, but not a great inning by Edgar Cabrera right there. 3 runs, 3 hits. The offense here does kind of help him out. A 2-run home run from Tahara, and that's Edmundo is on his first name. Tahara there, one of the guys that we're focused on as a prospect in this franchise, does get a big home run in the top of the second inning. So it's a 1-run game as there's a swing, and that ball is crushed into the outfield, and that ball is down and going to hit the wall. Really tall walls in this stadium here in Syracuse, as that is a double to begin the bottom of the second from Luke Ritter. As now 2 down in the inning, Ronnie Mauricio trying to take advantage of this extra base hit somehow. Ground ball right back to the pitcher Cabrera, and he will go, in fact, to first base to get the out. So the double, nothing happens there. Of that double, we go now to the bottom of the third. Here's Travis Janikowski up for his second at bat of the game. The 0-2 is a swing and a miss. And a changeup at the knees. First strikeout of the game for Cabrera, and a really good pitch right there. Now here's Patrick Mazeika up again. That single back in the first inning, bringing home a couple of RBIs. And the first pitch of the at-bat here is a slider that is grounded to shortstop, and that is going to end the third inning. So a couple of scoreless frames here by Edgar Cabrera as we go to the fourth inning. An 0-1 to Wilmer Reyes is swung on and missed. A slider, really good pitch there by Cabrera. Here's now a 1-2 pitch to the batter. It is there on the corner, on the outside part of the plate for strike 3. Really good pitch there by Cabrera. His second strikeout of the game right on the corner. Great job right there. Great location. And now 2 down here in the inning for Joe Perosa. 2-0. Ground ball right back to Cabrera again, and he is going to make his second play from the mound to first base in this game, as that's the end of the fourth. And still a 2-3 game, and still no runs allowed, as there you get a look at the shattered bat of the batter there at the end of 4 innings. So, as we go into the quick manage, there's a big double by Brad Miller to tie the score at 3 apiece. We are all knotted up here at 3, and now 1 out, 1 on for Janikowski. Ground ball. There's a ground to short, 1 out there, and a throw to first base, excuse me, is a double play, and just what the jumbo shipment wanted there and needed it from Cabrera. It is a 3-3 score after 5 innings. And there we go back to the quick managing here, and some trouble there, an error and a couple of walks and another run from Jacksonville. So it's now a 4-3 game, and Cabrera now is working with the lead, as there's a fastball at the knees. Really good pitch right there from Enter Cabrera. Man, oh man. Look at the pitch sequence here. The 3rd strikeout from him tonight. And that fastball there at the knees. A couple of fastballs to finish that at bat off. And now Cabrera in line for a possible victory in this game, as there's a ground ball that will get through and into center field for a single. 69 pitches for Cabrera, and another look at that swing and a ground ball, and at the bottom of the zone was that pitch there. So man on here, but kind of surprisingly, actually, they're gonna go to the bullpen here. I am intrigued by this move. I know Cabrera had a struggle in that first inning, but he didn't give up a run. Hasn't given up a run since, and was only at 70 pitches in this game. So an interesting decision. I don't know if I particularly agree with it all per se, as now they're going to go to the bullpen here, and here's Daniel Castano out of the pen, and he's had a pretty good season, 93 innings and an under 3 ERA. So now here's Luke Ritter with 2 on and 2 outs. Big time spot. Do not want to bring home a run, as here comes the pitch, and it's a fly ball out to center field. Miller ranging over and making the catch in the outfield. So that'll end the 6th inning. No more runs charged to the pitcher Cabrera in this one. And after 6, we're not tied. You know what I'm saying? It is a 4-3 game. As we go to quick managing here, I think it's a triple from Khalil Lee. And we will go into this one here in the bottom of the 7th. Hop back in it here with running Mauricio at the plate. 2 for 3 with an RBI already today. And there is a sinker down low, and the count is now gone full here on Mauricio. The man on third just needs to get a fly ball to score this runner. Here comes a 3-2, and it's way up there. Almost hits him for ball 4. So there's a walk. Not honestly the worst thing in the world, as now a double play possibility here with 1 away. Now here's Travis Janikowski up. 1 for 3 in this game, and he will hit a fly ball out to the outfield. Peyton Burdick is underneath it. He makes the catch. They're going to come home with the tag, and the throw is offline. And they're not going to have a chance to get the runner. We are tied at 4. A sac fly. And as the Syracuse Mets have knotted the game here in this one. 4 apiece. Carlos Rincon comes on up. And here is an 0-1 from Castellano to him. It's a fly ball out to Belade in the outfield, who settles underneath it and makes the catch to end the 7th inning. As we are done with 7, we are on to the 8th, and now we are, in fact, knotted up in this game. So we have 2 down here in the inning. Hayden Cantrell up, and he will swing and fly it into the outfield, and that is going to be caught by the left fielder here in the top of the 8th inning. So we're going to go middle of the 8th, and it is a 4-4 tie. Guys, we're going to go to the bullpen here in this one again. And Tommy Evell, not a great season here at AAA from him, a 4.38 ERA, only 12.1 innings. Will be pitching the 8th. Patrick Mazeika comes back up again, as he had that single in the first inning, as there's a swing and a miss changeup below the zone. That's a great pitch from Eveld, as 2 strikes to Scott Oda, and there is a pitch very close at the top of the zone. Makes the count 2-2. There's a 2-2 from Avell. There's a fly ball. That is down the line, and that is foul as Oda keeps the at-bat going here. Now a 2-2 again. Is on the top of the zone for strike 3 called. And Tommy Avell with another great pitch there. And, man, end of the 8th inning, we have a tie game. Close one here between the Jumbo Shrimp and the Mets. It's 4-4. As here's Felix Pena out of the pen for Syracuse. Really good season by him this year, 19 innings. Looking to put another scoreless inning under his belt here with 1 out, 1 down. Here's J.J. Bleday, 2 for 2 in this game. And he pops it up. Foul territory. And the catch is made in the bullpen there of Jacksonville. And that is 2 down in the inning. As here's Joe Dunant now. And he will swing and fly it out into the outfield here. And that is going to be caught by the right fielder that time to send this game into extra innings. So we have an extra inning affair here in the minor leagues in this one. Luke Ritter, Jose Peraza, and then the top of the order up. Actually, no, we're in the bottom of the 9th. I don't know why I thought it was extra innings. Never mind, excuse me. As a 2-0 from Avell to Ritter is a fly ball, shallow, and it is going to fall in front of Miller, the center fielder. So there's the winning run on base for Syracuse now, with Joe Peraza coming up. A couple of pitches later, here from Avell is a fly ball into the outfield here, and Bleday cannot catch that one, as that is going to fall in front of him. And now there's 2 men on and nobody out. I really might have spoken too soon here in this game, as now Jacksonville in deep trouble with 2 men on and nobody out. Here's Luis Head with a 2.67 ERA in 27 innings this season. And now let's see what he does. Khalil Wheel up, and we will line it into the outfield here. Peyton Burdick picks it up, throws it to third base, and a really good heads-up play from the outfielder, Peyton Burdick, there to get an out. So he gets the lead runner at third base. An interesting play there, but it works, as now here's Ronnie Mauricio with couple of singles and a run. I think he said he had an RBI in this game. He does not. But an RBI here would win the game, and he will go for a bunt here. Tejada picks it up, and it's going to work. It's a successful bunt there as it moves runners into second and third. Now 2 down in the inning. Sure, they might have wanted to do that with nobody out, but either way, that's beyond the points. Now, as there's a ball to Charles Janikowski, who does have an RBI in this game, and is a biggest hit, ends it right here. Now a 3-2, is a fly ball, and Burdick there, settling under it and making the catch. And a big-time stop there by Luis Head, the pitcher. End of the 9th inning, and it is a 4-4 tie here in this one. We go into the 10th, so we do have extra innings in this one tonight. Here's Eric Gonzalez up 1 for 3 in the game with 2 down in the frame. There's a ground ball, and it's picked up and stopped by the first baseman, who goes to first base. That's the end of the 10th inning. And middle of the 10th here. 4-4 score as we go to the bottom half. Here's Carlos Rincon, 0 for 4 in the game. Luis Head still pitching here, and leans in on this 0-2 pitch. It is a swing and a fly ball out into deep right field. Bleday on the run. Bleday's not going to get there. That falls off the wall for a double, and he will stop there on second base. Carlos Rincon with his 9th of the season. That's massive. Now he's at third base, here with 1 down for Wilmer Reyes, who grounds it over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez is going to go home with it, and the play is made at home plate. Hands up throw by Gonzalez there to save the game for Jacksonville. Really no chance, no choice but to go home there on that situation, and a monster out at the plate keeps this game tied. Now Scott Oda is up. And he will ground it over to Diaz, who picks it up, races to first base, and that is the end of the 10th inning. Great job by the infield here. A big-time play at home. You go to the 11th. Now here's Anderson Tejada, homer, a single, and a couple of RBIs. Out 2 for 8 in this series. He's trying to struggling in AAA, to be honest with you here, but he does get his 3rd hit of this game here. A single back up the middle, and through for a base hit. So now a man on 3rd here with nobody out. Here's Peyton Burdick, who looks at that slider outside for ball 3. The count is full to him. Comes a 3-2 pitch. It is on the top of the zone, a 2-seamer. Strike 3 called. Really good pitch there by Felix Pena. Now men on 1st and 3rd for J.J. Bleday. Could he be the hero as he flies it into the outfield, and it is caught by the left fielder on the run. And that'll end the top of the 11th as another chance for Syracuse here to walk it off. They were very close in the last inning. Here's now Luke Ritter coming on up in the bottom of the 11th inning. 2 for 4 in this game. And here's Sean Gunther coming out of the pen for Jacksonville. Very, very good season. He is perfect. 13 for 13 in save opportunities this year with a 1.35 ERA. Very good season by him. And Luke Ritter will begin this inning. Here it comes a 2-0, and it's down low for ball 3. Jose Peraza sitting on deck for Syracuse. Now, Gunther leaning in for this 3-0 pitch. And it is ball 4, just outside the zone. Really close pitch there that time. And now with 1 out, here's Khalil Lee coming on up with a triple and a run scored today. He's got a man on 1st here with 1 down. The pitch is a ground ball to Diaz, who gets it and does not throw it to first base. And that was a blunder there. I'm not sure if the first baseman got confused. I don't know what Diaz was doing there. I thought I pressed the button to go to first base, but apparently I didn't in that situation. And out second. And there's a line drive, and oh man, that almost ended the game. Wow. Line drive right down the line. Just fair. Oh, just foul, excuse me, as Mauricio now will go, and now here's Gunther with a 0-1. And there's a fly ball. This one is going to be fair. Down the line, Bleday going to try to throw it home, but it's not going to be in time. And Syracuse will walk it off here in the 11th inning. As the top prospect, one of the top prospects in the game, Ronnie Mauricio, gets the walk-off here for the Mets in 11 innings in this one. So a Jumbo fall here in this game. The Jumbo not playing very well this season as a team. But that will conclude this one today in a 4-5 final score. I mean, a close game. That was there. Ronnie Mauricio got a couple of hits. I believe he got 3 in this one today. And overall, for the guy that we're focusing on, and Eric Cabrera, you know, he struggled in that first inning. Gave up a few runs and a couple of, you know, in a walk or so. But he does recover and ends up having a pretty decent start. I still think they kind of pulled him a little too early in this game. But, you know, I'm not the manager. I am player locking in this scenario, so I don't have any control over that. But let's look at the box score here in this one, and the loss goes to Sean Gunther, who, because of one of the few runs he's given up all year in this game, as Rooster got an RBI there. Bazika got a couple, and Cohn and Janikowski also got RBIs for the Syracuse Mets. J.J. Bleday had a couple of hits in this one, but Edward Cabrera, 5.1 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, and a couple of walks with 3 strikeouts. So he just has a 3.34 ERA this season, and I mean he's got a good ERA. He's been pitching pretty well in AAA this season, so you know, another decent start for him. But now we are gonna focus on Max Meyer here. You know, he's gonna pitch in a couple of days here, so we're gonna look at some box scores here and check up on the Major League team, what they're doing in this series against Pittsburgh. And a big-time win here, and a shutout, another shutout here from this pitching staff. Garrett Cooper with a 3-for-4 game with 3 RBIs. And this one, Williams Astudillo also got an RBI. As there's a look at it, a couple RBI from Aguilar, 3 from Cooper, and 7 shutout innings by Sixto Sanchez, one of his better starts this season, as he's kind of struggled overall this year. But you get a look at Max Meyer. Max Meyer is having a good season, as he only has a 2.80 ERA. But another win here for Miami, and this is what I'm talking about. You're facing Pittsburgh, not a great team here in Pittsburgh, 41-53 on the season in Miami with another win. They're now 5 games above 500, and the offense in this game was certainly there. A couple of RBIs from Jesus Aguilar, who's now up to 260 on the average, and an RBI from Birdie Soler. Garcia actually has a couple here where he had a home run in this one. And Jesus Luzardo, not an amazing start. The bullpen did a great job, though, in this one. And Blair got a save here in this one. As one more game to go, we sim this one. Another win here from Jacksonville. This is a really long series against Syracuse here. The 5 games. I'm not used to that in the major leagues. That usually isn't the case. But another win for Miami here. They have been winning. They have been winning here. They're winning some games right now. They're 51-45 now. They're 6 games above 500, and this one a walk-off in 13 innings. As you had an RBI from De La Cruz, including a home run from him, another RBI from Jorge Soler. Pablo Lopez, another excellent start, 7 innings, 5 hits, and 1 earned run with 3 strikeouts. A 2.26 ERA on the season for him now in the bullpen. Did pretty good there. Blown saved by Floro, though. Again, a second one in kind of recently for him. But we will now go back down to the minor leagues here to pitch with Max Meyer. The Jumbo Shrimp sitting at 39-49. And again, another game against the Mets. As I don't know if it's customary in the minor leagues to, play 5 games and long series like that against people. I'm assuming that Syracuse is in Jacksonville's division. I'm not 100% sure. Should probably know this stuff, but I do not. As again, you saw the stats from Max Meyer. He goes into this game with a 2.8 ERA. He started the year Double-A. He was doing really well in Double-A, and so I called him up to Triple-A, and he's been pitching very well in Triple-A this season. And again, this is a guy in Max Meyer. I think I'm going to call him up at the September call-ups when the roster expands. He gets a strikeout here with 3 fastballs. That's all you need to get a strikeout and to get the first out of the game. As here's Janikowski again with that 316 average. Very good on the season for him. And there's a line job right to the third baseman as that is caught. So there's a 1-2-3 inning. Definitely a different start to this game for Max Meyer than from Edward Cabrera. We go to the bottom of the second. Here's Carlos Rincon. As Max Meyer, will slot into that 5 spot, I am sure. Probably Jesus Luzardo will probably be a long reliever for that time in the roster expansion. And Max Meyer will be starting next year. I almost can guarantee that. So we'll focus on him. We'll pitch with him a couple of times, definitely, again, this season, just to make sure you guys know who this player is, and because he's going to be on the starting rotation, probably, or a long reliever at the very least, this upcoming season, or next year for the Marlins, especially if he pitches as good as he has been pitching the rest of the year. As there's a ball here, he does walk that batter, and so a couple of runners on to start the frame, and that ball's off of the diving attempt of the outfielder, who does get it back in the infield, and now the bases are loaded, but unfortunately, Peyton Burdick hurt himself on that dive, and, well, he's going to have to be taken out of the game. It doesn't look to be anything super serious, as the trainers, J.D. Orr is that outfielder that will replace him. There's a swing and a miss, and a strikeout there. The second of the game from Max Meyer. That's a monster strikeout with the bases loaded right here in that scenario to get now 2 outs in the inning. And you look at that StatCast data, a slider with a 10-inch break. And Max Meyer, not a particularly overpowering pitcher. He can't strike guys out when he wants to. He has a couple of them already today, but that's not usually his forte. And that's going to drop in for a base hit. That's going to score a runner on. It's all the way to the wall back there. 2 unscored, but they're going to get the runner going home. Trying to clear the bases there, and it does not work. 2 runs by Syracuse, and really quickly we're going to go into quick manage, and nothing there for the offense, but Max Meyer does give up a couple of runs off of that hit in the bottom of the second, so the Mets are up 2-0. How does Max Meyer recover from that, from a pretty tough second inning, as that's a extra base hit, and bounces off the wall and goes into the grass there, actually, for a ground rule double. Kind of a funky ground rule double here, as you see it bouncing off the corner of the wall there and going out of play. Now here's Carlos Rincon, 1 down, runners on the corners. That is a strike. Oh, that's ball 2, in fact, as the count is now at 2-1. Big spot here for Max Meyer. Already gave up a couple of runs in the last inning, and that's a foul ball down the first base line. The count moves now to 2-2. Here it comes, a 2-2 pitch now. It is swung on and missed. And another key big-time strikeout from Max Meyer in a tough spot. He did it with the bases juiced, and he does it here with first and third, 1 away. I mean, absolutely need a strikeout in those situations, and he gets them as a big-time K there. Now 2 out in the inning before Patrick Maziku shatters his bat and grounds out to short. So that is going to end the third inning, and Meyer does end up working around a double and, a couple of hits there in that inning from the Syracuse Mets. And at the end of 3, it is 5-2. I would like to see Max Meyer give up a little less hits. That's one thing he kind of struggles with here in the minors, is he does give up some hits and base runners. But that is a slider that is cold. Strike 3. Really good slider there at the bottom of the zone. Meyer with his 4th of the game. He's got a strikeout per inning in this one, and he gets a fly ball here to center field. That'll end the 4th. So he does work around that base runner there. I believe that was a walk that he allows, as through 4 innings, it's still 2-0. The offense for Jacksonville this time not really there, as still it's 2-0. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and there's another strikeout. A strikeout per inning, if you might have guessed, from Max Meyer today, as that's his 5th of the night. And now trying to steal second base, and they do in fact hit the runner trying to go to second base. Great job by the catcher to gun down the runner trying to go to second there on the stolen base attempt. And after 5 innings, 6 hits given up by Meyer, he's able to work around these hits for the most part here today. As now 1-2, and there's a changeup on the corner for strike 3. Another inning, another strikeout from Max Meyer. He's got 6 of them now. Really good pitch here at the knees to Carlos Rincon, the batter. The changeup there catching the zone. So now with 2 out here in the inning, here's Wilmer Reyes. The 0-1 is a fastball at the top of the strike zone. It might be the last inning here for Max Meyer, so want to make it end. Want to make it end with on a strong note here. 0-2 is a swing and a miss. Slider at the bottom of the zone. Max Meyer with a beautiful pitch there, and that is the end of the 6th inning, and a 2-0 score in this one. 7 strikeouts from Meyer tonight. And let's see if that is, in fact, the end of the night for him, as they run finally from Jacksonville, and that is, in fact, the end of this game. So we're just going to simulate to the end of it, jump in case anything really exciting is happening here, as it doesn't look like it here. No runs are happening. We go to the 9th inning, and nothing from Jacksonville. They don't tie the game up or anything. They do get a run, but they fall in this one. So neither pitcher getting the win in this game. In fact, Max Meyer is actually going to be handed the loss in this game, despite pitching really well tonight. But another loss for Jacksonville. They're now 39-40 on the season, and Meyer now 3-6 on the year, and a 2-1 final score. But a really good start for Max Meyer in this one. You know, had a little bit of a struggle in the second inning, but I mean, that's a good start. We'll take that start any day of the week from him. 6 innings and 7 strikeouts, 6 hits, 2 runs. So not a bad game at all from Max Meyer in this one. And again, a guy that, you know, is going to be called up at some point this year. I guarantee that, and will be very likely starting, or at least in the team pitching somewhere next season. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned, a couple of walks, and 7 strikeouts. A 2.82 ERA on the season for Max Meyer this season. Very, very good numbers for him this year. So that'll conclude the kind of checkups on these couple of minor league pitchers that we have for you, but we will now simulate this last game before the final game of the All-Star break, and a close one here. Tie game at 7-7. John Birdie having a really good one here in this one, and the Marlins win this one as well. So, you know, after they kind of go on that a little bit of a losing streak, they lose 5 in a row, they lose 6 of their last 7. They have now won 4 in a row, and overall 5 of their last 6 games, and are now 52-45 on the season. They're 7 games above 500 now this year. And a really good game here in this one. Miami with a couple of big runs in the bottom of the 8th inning to win here in this one 8-7. As you look at the offense, a couple of hits from De La Cruz, but Jesus Aguilar, whose average is now up to 265, is 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs. And John Birdie, what a game for him. 3 hits, 5 at-bats at 4 RBIs, a triple, a home run, and a single, a double away from the cycle in this game for him. And he had an excellent game in this one. Sandy Alcantara, kind of struggled in this one, to be honest with you. 6 runs given up in 5 innings. But the bullpen here, Dylan Floro got his 22nd save of the year to get back on track after blowing a couple. But that's a look at the standings here. And meanwhile, while the Marlins were winning some games, the Mets were just doing all right. They were winning some games too, actually. They were 7-3 in their last 10. And meanwhile, the Braves, 6-4 in their last 10. So all 3 of those teams are winning some games here recently, and the Marlins are a game behind the Mets for the division. Next time, we have one more game before the end before the All-Star break happens against the Philadelphia Phillies. So we'll cover that game next time on this series, and then it's the All-Star break. So next time, though, on this channel is the conclusion of the MLB The Show 20 Custom League, finally ending that series off, and then move back to the other series that we have on this channel. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys are having a great day today, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day as well. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more. You've been listening to Lucas from Mars, and just have a great day, everybody. God bless.